Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, and welcome to the pre-show for the 18th Annual Dorothy Awards. During the next half hour, we're going to be presenting to you some entertainment leading into our show at 6 p.m. Eastern. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, so you can watch on the platform of your choice. Please note that our silent auction is already open, and you can start to bid at dorothy18.givesmart.com. You can also make a donation there, as well as through Venmo, at New Haven Pride Center, or Cash App, $New Haven Pride Center. It's my pleasure to welcome to the stage, virtually, a performer who's joined us for many of our events, and we're always happy to have her. She's also Connecticut's lesbian music icon. Please welcome Carrie Ashton.
Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining today. I'm so grateful to be here. Yes, I'm a lesbian icon today. I get so defensive. I'm feeling it all before, so I won't say it anymore. I'll just stand back and watch you find your secret woe. And though I used to wonder why, I used to cry till I was trapped. Still sometimes I get all strange beat inside. Oh, should we get you hurt? So am I. I'll see. You know I see no more money. It's so great to be here. Thank you to the New Haven Pride Center for having me come back. It's always a pleasure to be a part of all of your events, and I'm super grateful. So
Thank you. I'm gonna play you guys a song I wrote when I was in a very, 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 very bad mood. Some of you watching may have heard this song before, but if you haven't, this is the miserable song.
Yeah, here's another song. Please listen closely. It'll make me repeat this. It's not gonna take that long. It's my dedication. If you think about your needs, I don't know what I was thinking. Hanging around here. Ooh, you make me miserable. Whoa. Everything about you, like a shirt without you. Miserable. Whoa. Always on and on again, up and down and round again. Miserable. Whoa. And I really, really hope that I make you miserable too. It's not really all that hard. Just pay attention, I'm sure you'll get it. And if you think I'm sorry, I won't make me now. Baby, forget it, 'cause I don't know what I was thinking. Hanging around here with you. Ooh, you make me miserable. Whoa. Everything about you, like a shirt without you. Miserable. Whoa. Always up and on again, up and down and round again. Miserable. Whoa. And I really, really hope that I make you miserable too. I don't know what I was thinking, hanging around with you. Ooh, you make me miserable. Whoa. Everything about you, like a shirt without you. Miserable. Whoa. We're always off and on again, up and down and round again. Miserable. Whoa. Please leave me alone again. Don't call me on my phone again. Miserable. Whoa. And I really, really hope that I make you miserable. I'm really gonna try to make you miserable. Somebody's got to make you miserable too. Whoa. I'm gonna make you miserable too. Whoa. I'm gonna make you miserable too.
And that's the miserable song. Everyone loves that. They always get such pleasure out of my pain. I don't understand. All right, we're gonna do a couple more for you. Come to my window, roll inside away by the light of that moon. Come to my window, I'll be home soon. Yeah, oh. I would have just listen to your breath. I love singing this song. I'm gonna play you guys one that is off my latest record, Invincible. And this song's called She Hides.
Crouches in the shadows behind the wall, like a little girl scared of the dark. She is afraid to let herself love someone. Someone once broke her heart. She tries to see everything she could be if she only opened up and confide. This feels has got nothing to do with me. Oh yeah, she hides. She hides. Oh yeah, she hides. She hides. Oh yeah, she hides. I'm trying to tell her not to be afraid. There's no monsters underneath your bed, except for all the little ones she creates. Oh, and this is what she said. She tries to see everything she could be. She only opened up and confide. The fear she feels is a fear of me. Oh yeah, she hides. She hides. Oh yeah, she hides. She hides. Oh yeah, she hides. And I know that I'm the one she's so afraid of, although she's never told me so. She keeps running and I follow just to see how far I will go. So I say, open up the window, let the sunshine in. There's nothing to be scared of after all. There's no need to be hiding in your shadow. Oh, just in case you fall, try to see everything you could be. Oh, come on and open up inside. 'Cause the feel has got nothing to do with me. Oh yeah, she hides. She hides. Oh yeah, she hides. She hides. Oh yeah, she hides. Whoa, she hides. Oh yeah, she hides.
Something off my record, Invincible, called She Hides. I'm gonna do one more song for you guys. Thank you so much to the New Haven Pride Center for inviting me to be part of yet another amazing event. I'm truly grateful. And here we go. Enjoy the rest of your show.
You don't have to be beautiful
Thank you guys so much for having me. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Always choose kind. And I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.
We hope to inspire others to make sure that LGBTQ issues are vibrantly supported by the community. $25 and $50 can make a big difference. And it's not just the financial aspects of a gift that matter, but it's the fact that there's one more person to say, you know, we've got a group of people that are standing behind this and supporting it, but also more people that they can exponentially bring into the fold. And it helps organizations sustain during the very lean times.
Good evening again, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. We hope you are enjoying our pre-show for the 18th Annual Dorothy Awards. The show will be getting underway officially in just a few minutes. We have one more performance before that. Before we do, though, we want to remind you that you can make a donation at dorothy18.givesmart.com. You can also make a donation on Venmo at New Haven Pride Center or via Cash App $ New Haven Pride Center. Also, at the GiveSmart website, you can bid on our silent auction, which will be open throughout the show and after. So feel free to bid and take a look at the items that we have there. And also note that we are streaming on both Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. If you have any problems with the stream at any point tonight, go to the same GiveSmart website and you'll have a live stream window there that you can keep track of, just to make sure that you don't lose us during the night. With that, we've got one more performance for you. We'll be back in a few minutes to kick off the show. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, that was Robin Fierce, prolific Connecticut drag artist. We are just 2 minutes away from the start of the 18th Annual Dorothy Awards, and we'd like to remind you that there is a program book for tonight's event. You can go to DorothyAwards.org and download your free copy now. The program book includes a lineup of tonight's events, as well as other great information about our sponsors and participants. Our honoree bios are also in there, so you can learn a little bit more about who's receiving tonight's awards. While you're on our website, remember that you can also access the donation link there, or you can go directly to dorothy18.givesmart.com and make a donation at any point for tonight's event. You can also make a donation on Venmo at New Haven Pride Center or via Cash App, $, New Haven Pride Center. On the GiveSmart website, you can also browse and bid on the silent auction, which will be open throughout tonight's event and throughout the rest of the weekend. So please be sure to bid early and often to make sure you get the items that you're most looking forward to getting. And finally, if you do have any trouble with our streams tonight, which we are currently streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, please also visit dorothy18.givesmart.com, where you will find an ever-running live stream that will not be interrupted. So feel free to watch us wherever you'd like, but that link will be the strongest. It is now my great pleasure to introduce tonight's host. You may have seen her at drag shows throughout Connecticut, all over, throughout the years, except for the last 12 months where she's been mostly hibernating. You might have given her $1 if you enjoyed what she was doing. You may have given her $5 if you didn't enjoy what she was doing and hope maybe she'd do something else. Maybe not, but it's worth a try. It's my pleasure to welcome to the stage our hostess, Miss Kiki Lucia.
Hello, everybody. Hi. Hope everybody is having a fabulous evening. I am so glad to be coming to you from the home of the New Haven Pride Center, the New Haven Pride Center itself. And I have some fabulous art behind me because I am doing it live tonight from our gallery. So you'll see we have some art on this side and we have some art on this side. And this art will be changing throughout the evening just to keep you on your toes so that you know what is what. And you get to see some of the most incredible artists that are represented in our gallery all year long. So before we begin, I do want to take a moment and acknowledge the land on which the New Haven Pride Center operates, hosts, and exists. So the New Haven Pride Center was founded and operates on the traditional lands of the Mohegan, the Manchatucket Pequot, the Eastern Pequot, the Shattuck, the Golden Hill Pawcatuck, the Niantic, and the Quinnipiac peoples. We hope that wherever you are right now, you will take a moment and acknowledge and honor the native lands of which you occupy and the history of the place that you are in. And know you can always go to native/land.ca to learn more about the lands that you occupy and the land that you live on. With that said, I'm sure that you all are missing the witty banter that would happen at a normal Dorothy Awards. So I'm going to bring to the virtual stage to join me for our welcome, my fabulous, always co-host of the Dorothys and co-president of our board, Josh O'Connell. Come, please join me, Josh. Josh is actually producing for us this evening. So he is the man behind the scene making all the magic happen. But Josh, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I am having fun clicking buttons.
There are lots of buttons to click. And, I always say whenever we're doing anything virtual, if you like what's going on, you have a comment, you want to say something, comment from wherever you are. We will pop it up on the screen. Miss Kenya Monet Hart has been going crazy on Twitch for us, and you can do that wherever you are. And the more you comment, the higher up our stream ends up on the Facebook algorithm. So really, it's good for everybody. I am excited to say that going in tonight, we'd already raised over $30,000. So we are off and running and doing so well. Laura, who is behind the scenes with me here, just looked at the auction, and I think we're already up to like $1,500 on the auction. So that's amazing. And I'm in the driver's seat sort of tonight backstage, and I can see our honorees trickling into the backstage to get ready for their speeches. So we are so excited to welcome you all here tonight. Josh, how has the Dorothy Awards been different for you this year? I mean,
Well, it's funny because we've lost a lot of things that we would normally come to count on. Fantasy, our home for so many years, no longer exists. So next year's is still going to look different regardless of what we do this year. We're clearly doing this virtually. I'm working from my home base and you're working from yours, of course. But certain things haven't changed. The Pride Center's mission has not changed. The Dorothy Awards being our single largest fundraiser of the year has not changed. The batch of honorees we have this year are as awesome as they always are, and we're really excited to honor everybody. This is my 15th year doing this at this point, so this feels different, but it feels so the same too. And this is the first time I've spoken to you in a year, Kiki. So it's also really good to see you.
Well, and this is the thing we all have to remember. Last year, the Dorothy Awards was the last big public event. It might have been even the last public event in Connecticut at all. It was definitely the last event in the queer community, because we had the Dorothys, and on Monday the lockdown was announced. Right. So, I mean, it's amazing to be here. I'm so excited that we're able to figure out a way to join you all at home so that we can all be safe, so that come September, we can have a rockin' Pride New Haven together once we've all been vaccinated.
Actually, I got to point that way. And we got a comment from Frank DeMeo, who is one of the founders of this event. And Frank has been a supporter of the center since the very beginning. And without him, we wouldn't have this event. So it's great to see Frank watching, and all of you watching. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight.
Yes, thank you, everyone. I can see there's a whole bunch of you watching. There's a nice little ticker at the top. I also want to give a big shout out to everybody who's at the Shea and watching us live from the Shea. Hello, yes. Shea. Hello, Shea. We are so excited to be working with John at the Shea and being able to bring the Dorothy Awards to the North this year.
Yes.
And I have a couple of things I do need to do before we get into the actual event. And one of those really important things that is the reason we are so close to that we are over the $30,000 mark as we begin this event is our amazing sponsors. They made tonight possible. Without them, we would not be anywhere close to our goal. So we are so thankful to them. Josh, I think you have some slides you're going to put up. Yes. So we have our presenting sponsors, Anchor Health and Healthcare Advocates International. Healthcare Advocates International is also an incredible partner of the centers, and they are the reason we have case management. We're able to have case management for the length of the COVID pandemic. Our supporting sponsors this evening are the Shea in Hartford, one of my home bars. I love the Shea, and the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven. We also have some incredible sponsors at the assisting level, Te Amo and Barracuda, some of my favorite restaurants in New Haven. I go there all the time, and they do delivery from all the apps, and you can get all their yummy apps from the apps. The Center for Advanced Reproductive Services, another incredible organization that serves our community, making sure if you want to have a family, they will help you figure out how to do it. Circle Care Center right down in Norwalk, another incredible LGBTQ healthcare organization. Markham, new sponsor this year. Welcome, Markham, to the team. The Imperial Sovereign Court of all Connecticut. We love you. We love you. We love you. And we will be seeing a special entertainment from them later tonight. Planned Parenthood of Southern New England. Those of you who came last year will remember we had the incredible Gretchen Raffa at the awards last year, and Planned Parenthood. She is a major force to reckon with at Planned Parenthood. The International Festival of Arts and Ideas, which happened to also be my former employer, but we love them. They have a whole new team there running the show. They're coming up in June with an incredible festival, Imagine. And actually, I have a meeting on Monday to talk about how the center can be a part of the festival. Super excited. Sweetheart Invitational, they have been a sponsor of the center and a supporter of the Dorothy Awards for, oh gosh, at least 6 or 7 years, probably longer than I'm remembering. And they're amazing. And finally, our community sponsors, Guilford Savings Bank, Inner City News, Mr. Connecticut Bear, Mr. Connecticut Leather, and last but not least, Yale University. So thank you to all of the sponsors who made tonight possible. All these, without their support, we would not be where we were starting tonight. So it's amazing. It's amazing. Am I forgetting anything, Josh? I feel like I'm supposed to do other things.
we could thank our auction donors while we're talking about things.
Yes, we can. So the auction is up and live. Like I said, all of these incredible people gave us auction items. I'm so excited. I've already placed some bids. There's some good stuff in there. There's a weekend in P-Town. There is a boat trip with David Knapp, which is always a popular item. But then there's some awesome like home things. There's this beautiful antique ruby glassware. There's some incredible art. Lots of things to check out. Some of that art's going to hang behind me during the stream, so you will get firsthand experience with it. Not these. These are not part of the auction, unfortunately. I would love if this one was, because I like this one. You know what, Josh? I'm going to do one other thing before we get into our entertainment.
Well, before we move on from that, let's just make sure that people know that home base for tonight's event, we know that people are watching in a variety of different ways, but we have a URL that's on the screen, dorothy18.givesmart.com. That URL is really important because a number of things live there. The auction lives there. Your ability to donate lives there. The uninterrupted stream lives there. If you're watching on Facebook, there is a chance we could get cut off because it doesn't like long streams and it doesn't like copyrighted music, and we got performances tonight for you. So go to that link and your show is going to continue regardless of where you're watching from right now. So that's just helpful. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. And I want to send hi to all the highs that I see lots of hi kikis. Hello. So the other thing I wanted to do before we get started is, because we are here to honor incredible people, but we're also here raising money for an incredible organization. And I just want to give everybody a quick snapshot of what the center has done since the pandemic hit last year, almost a year ago today, when we closed down. So when the world shut down, the center continued. We did not stop. We created a food program over the summer, and over 17 weeks, we gave out 65,000 pounds of food to 175 different households around the greater New Haven area, but some even as far as Hartford and in Middletown and down in Norwalk and Bridgeport. We also have been doing virtual case management, and we have provided over 1,000 hours of virtual case management since the beginning of the pandemic, which is insane. That is translating to anywhere between 25 and 40 hours a week. And dealing with everything you can imagine: mental health requests, housing support, food support, unemployment, stimulus. We all just got stimulated, but sometimes you need help getting that money into your bank account. So JC has been doing amazing things with that. And finally, one of the numbers that I'm most excited about is we gave over $40,000 back to the community through direct payments to artists and speakers who are underemployed or unemployed due to the pandemic. These are people in our community that are leading thought, are leading change, are creative artists, and we were able to pay 347 artists with that $40,000, and that is direct cash in their pocket so that they can do what they need to do to survive this crazy pandemic. So that's just some of the things that the center has been doing over the last year. And I just wanted to set the stage with that before we kick this evening off.
Absolutely. And it's important to note that the center hasn't sat still in the last year. For those who were wondering, what happens with a nonprofit when these types of things happen. We basically threw out the playbook and started again and moved a lot of our programming virtually. We found other ways to reach our community. And, we've still grown our staff. We've added a position as well, a full-time position as well as a program officer position since we last met, right?
Yeah.
And you'll learn a little bit more about that as we go. But, that just shows that we're able to be flexible. We've always been a scrappy organization. We do a lot with a little. Your money goes a long way with the Pride Center, and I think that's just important to emphasize when you're thinking about what your donation is going to tonight.
Exactly. And Benjamin, that link again is dorothy18.givesmart.com, and it's very important that it's .com because I like to type .org and then it doesn't work. It is .com. But anyway, we should get going here because we got fabulous entertainment. We have amazing honorees. Our honorees this year, it's like insane. And I couldn't pick a favorite because I'm so excited to honor all of them. And yeah, should we get going here, Josh?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So we're going to kick off with some entertainment because why not? We want to be entertained. This is a fun event. So we're going to kick off some entertainment with someone who I love and adore to pieces. I like to claim her as my daughter because she is, even though Mia tried to steal her from me. She is my daughter. I love her to pieces. She is incredible entertainer. And the best thing of this is that she is also an award winner because she was Mix Pride New Haven 2020.
That's right.
She beat out that competition with an incredible gown and performance. And this next performance, it's going to put a smile on your face and set the tone for a fun evening. So without further ado, please welcome to the virtual stage my daughter I adore to pieces, and she's incredible, Miss Rory Roulet.
I will.
Don't test me, I will.
Her name was Lola, she was a showgirl with yellow feathers in her hair and a dress cut down her there. She would merengue and do the cha-cha, and while she tried to be a star, Tony always tended bar across the crowded floor. They worked from 8 till 4, they were young and they had each other. Who could ask for more at the Copacabana? Spot north of Havana, at the Copacabana. Music and passion were always the fashion at the Copa. They fell in love. His name was Rico, he wore a diamond. He was escorted to his chair. He saw Lola dancing there, and when she finished, he called her over. But Rico went a bit too far. Tony sailed across the bar, and then the punches flew, and chairs were smashed in two. There was blood and a single gunshot, but just who shot who at the Copacabana? The hottest spot north of Havana. At the Copacabana, music and passion were always the fashion at the Copa. She lost her love. Her name is Lola, she was a showgirl, but that was 30 years ago when they used to have a show. Now it's a disco, but not for Lola. Still in the dress she used to wear, faded feathers in her hair. She sits there so refined and drinks herself half blind. She lost her youth and she lost her Tony. Now she's lost her mind at the Copacabana, the hottest spot north of Havana. At the Copacabana, music and passion were always the fashion at the Copa. Don't fall in love. Don't fall in love.
That was so much fun. Oh my gosh. So Josh, you know me so well. What did I forget to do at the beginning of that? I forgot to include, in addition to fabulous Rory, was all of the entertainers of the Shea who joined in that performance at various points. Some of them you will see on stage again later this evening. So there's some continuity there. But yes, Josh said that I was going to forget to say, and all the other performers who participated in the video with Rory. So Josh, you know me too well. So are we having a good time? Yes. I'm seeing lots of fun comments and people enjoying themselves. And Thomas, I also want to be in Copa. It started to get warm, but then it was 30 degrees again today. And I was like, nope. But yeah, so we are here to honor incredible people, and we're going to do that. But before that, I just want to point out that the art has changed. It's a little like, I can do a little like, there now you can see it. These are two of our silent auction items. So if you would like a butt in your house, sorry, it's opposite. If you'd like a butt in your house, or if you'd like a beautiful lady in your house, or if you want both, because we do not discriminate here at the Pride Center. We love people of all sexual orientations. you can have one or both of these pieces of art to go home with you this evening by going to that silent auction. But now we are here to that moment where we are going to do our first honoree. So we are so honored to honor this first person. Every year, we have a special award called the Rising Star. Typically, the Rising Star Award goes to someone who is on the younger side of their journey to activism, but is having just as much of an impact as anybody else in our community. I will say this honoree is phenomenal. I learn things from her every day, literally. Her Facebook, her activism, the way she touches our community is like not measurable, seriously. She is someone who we get to work with every summer on the Black and Brown summer camp. She's someone we get to work with constantly on all of our other initiatives around our youth programming, all of our initiatives in the community supporting Black lives. And I can't say enough about how incredible she is and how our community wouldn't be what it is without her in it. So I would like to welcome to accept her award, the amazing Janice Kahia.
Hello, everyone. I would first like to say thank you to the Dorothy Awards for this acknowledgement. It truly means a lot, and I appreciate it so much. The work of the Connecticut Black and Brown Queer Camp is really a space that I wish would have been available for me as a young trans woman. It is a space that specifically centers the needs and wants of Black and Brown LGBTQ youth. And, you know, we believe that it's important to center those who are most marginalized in our fight for liberation. I want to say thank you to all of you who have invested in this work. Thank you to the amazing co-founder of the Black and Brown Queer Camp, Juan Carlos, to Allah, Addis, the Parent Family Foundation, the William Graustein Foundation, the New Haven Pride Center. Thank you for centering Black and Brown LGBTQ youth. May we move forward in the footsteps of our foremothers, Marsha P. Johnson and Silva Rivera, and continue to fight for liberation for all.
And here is, I don't know if you can see it, the light is making it a little hard to see, but this is Janice's award, and it is amazing. It's quite heavy. So Janice, you're gonna have something you can take someone out with if you need to. I'm gonna hand this off to my lovely assistant, Laura. Don't drop it, please. But yes, I mean, literal liberation for all. She said everything that needed to be said. I have nothing else to say. I see Allah, our amazing youth program officer, is going crazy. But Janice, I can't say enough about you. You're amazing. You're incredible. I see you watching. So I'm so glad you're here with us tonight watching live. And I wish we were doing this in person, but I can't wait to see you very, very, very soon. Hopefully in person in June for our Black and Brown camp, but if not, I will see you very soon in person as soon as we can. Mwah. So what am I supposed to do? I have a to-do list. I'm supposed to talk about the auction and donations. So the auction and donations are amazing. And you should check them out at dorothy18.givesmart.com. While you are there, you can make a donation. You can bid on those silent auctions. I see that P-Town auction item is going crazy, but there are many other things that you can get, including some fine crystal for like nothing. There's some Gucci sunglasses. There's some good stuff. You are right, Allah. She is a change maker. So we are going to just keep this rolling, and we're going to bring to the stage our next performer. So please welcome to the virtual stage one of Connecticut's incredible AbFab performers. If you don't know what AbFab is, let me tell you what it is. AbFab means assigned female at birth. And we love all kinds of drag because all kinds of drag is valid. And she does incredible drag. I adore her to pieces. You're going to hear me say that a lot because I adore everybody to pieces. Even though I'm like a bitter, angry old person, I love everybody also. But I am so excited to welcome to the virtual stage in her Dorothy Awards first time performance, the incredible Frizzy Borden.
Don't wanna be a part of that scene. I heard of the curses with death. My life has fallen into temporary sin. roses and baby's breath. I've been trying and I've been buying and I've been lying and I've been crying. And that's how I know. All of the legends, I asked 27, they all went to heaven. All of the legends, since I was 11, I went to heaven. All of the legends, I've been trying and I've been buying and I've been lying and I've been crying. And that's how I know that I don't wanna go.
I just got off to sleep after about an hour. Charlie phoned me up and he just said Brian died. I can't believe it.
Or will my green seagull turn a deeper blue? I could not foresee this thing happening to you. If I look hard enough into the setting sun, my love will laugh with me before the morning comes. I see a red door and I want it painted black.
The Jimi Hendrix experience is over. The acid rock musician died today in a London hospital, apparently from an overdose of drugs.
Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Purple haze all around. Don't know if I'm gonna up or down. Am I happy or in misery? Whatever it is, that girl put a spell on me.
Genesis' body was found in her Hollywood apartment yesterday. She was 27. She sang the blues.
I'll make you feel like you are the only man. Well, yeah, I'll give you nearly everything that a woman possibly can. Honey, you know I did. And each time I tell myself that what I think I've had enough. But what I'm gonna show you, baby, that a woman can be tough. I want you to come on, and take another little piece of my heart now, baby.
What did you lose when Jim Morrison died? I lost a great friend. I lost somebody I cared for a lot. And it was the end of an era for all of us.
When you're a stranger, faces look ugly. When you're alone, women seem wicked. When you're unwanted, streets are uneven. When you're down, when you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange.
Tonight, word of an untimely death. Kurt Cobain was the lead singer of the group Nirvana. And then this morning, his body found at home, another casualty of success.
We're going to turn now to a major loss in the music world tonight. The gifted singer Amy Winehouse found dead in her London home. She was just 27. And so many people blogging and tweeting throughout the day today about an almost eerie coincidence. So many young music stars lost, and so many lost when they too were 27.
But I know we don't come
Yes, Miss Frizzy Borden, representing the 27 Club. Wait, does that mean, Frizzy, you just turned 27? Are you that old yet? I don't think you are. I think you're like 22 still. I don't know. Everybody is the age that I meet them. So people like Laura, who I've worked with for now 4 years, is like still 22, even though she's definitely not 22. So, but that was the amazing, fabulous, incredible Frizzy Borden. So I want to give one more sponsor shout out to our top tier sponsors. Thank you, Anchor Health. Thank you, Healthcare Advocates International. Thank you, the Shea Est. I hope you are all having a fabulous time there this evening, and the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven. Thank you all. The four of you made tonight so incredible with your support. And we are so thankful for everything that you do for our community, including supporting the New Haven Pride Center, because the New Haven Pride Center is awesome. So now it is time for us to do one more honoree. We have yet another honoree, because tonight is jam-packed with incredible people that we are proud to honor. They're having a massive watch party, and by massive, I mean not like COVID unsafe massive. It is everybody's been, shot in their arm and safe viewing party at their home, and we're so excited to welcome him. But before we welcome the incredible Dr. Gary Blick, we have a little intro from Lenny.
Good evening. I'm Lenny Quartermash, and I'm the Director of Prevention, Outreach, and Advocacy with Healthcare Advocates International in Stratford, Connecticut. We are so proud to have our founder and Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Gary Blick, selected as one of tonight's honorees. Dr. Blick has been a pioneer fighting stigma and discrimination, and he's been on the front line of the HIV crisis since the 1980s. Speaking for myself, I've known Gary for almost 30 years as an HIV-positive patient and a friend, and he is one of the reasons that I am able to be here tonight to deliver this address to all of you. Gary and all of his team at HCII are dedicated to serving the needs of the LGBTQ+ community through prevention, programs, education, advocacy, and treatment. For more information on HCII, visit hcaillc.com. And on behalf of your entire family at HCII, congratulations, Gary, on an award well deserved. And on behalf of your entire family at HCII, congratulations, Gary, on an award well deserved.
Yes, we're having our little party here. That's for sure. I've got Thomas, Lenny, Patty, and my husband, Giacomo, here. So first of all, Lenny, thank you for the introduction. And Miss Kiki, thank you. And Patrick and everybody at New Haven Pride for this honor. I'm really, Thomas, please. This is my time now, my friend. Listen, if you give me just a couple of minutes to say thank you, I want to just read something to you that one of my patients wrote. It pretty much says everything that I pretty much want to say tonight. It starts with, a little over 32 years ago, I was diagnosed HIV positive. At that time, I was, and I still am, heterosexual, single, and a white female with a good moral compass who has never used an IV drug. To the best of my knowledge, anyone I dated was just the same. I later learned that I was infected by a man I had dated who was unaware that he was HIV positive. How could this be? Because I was so outside of the norm for people who tested positive at that time. The test was repeated five or six times to make sure there wasn't an error. Weeks earlier, I had just turned 30. My dreams of marriage and children were now destroyed. Heck, my entire life was destroyed. I went to see an AIDS counselor and naively asked, has anyone ever been cured of this? I was told no, and that I had maybe 3, maybe 5 years left to live. I was diagnosed at that time when there was no medication available, and people were afraid to be near anyone with this diagnosis. I only confided in a few very close friends and family members, and without saying so, a couple of those friends made it painfully clear that they didn't care to be around me. Although terribly hurt, I wasn't angry. Maybe if I was in their shoes, I would have felt the same way. There was little known back then about how this disease and how it could be transmitted. And in the 30 years plus that have passed, I still wonder, will they ever send me a simple note that says something like, sorry, I couldn't have been more supportive at the time. I'm happy to hear you are well. I still feel very, very hurt. I could never adequately explain the devastating toll this took on me and my family. The crippling loneliness, the depression, I just felt horrific. And within 3 months, through a counselor, my brother found Dr. Gary Blick. Gary was so optimistic, positive, and friendly. I knew immediately he would be my doctor and have never looked back. He told me that he felt this disease could be managed like chronic diabetes and I didn't have to die. He gave me hope at a time when there was none. I don't know that I believed him, but he planted the seed of hope. And today I am alive and well. I've never been hospitalized and I've never had a serious HIV-related illness. I've been undetectable for over 20 years and my status is healthy, healthy, healthy. Just about every visit with Gary, I'm told my blood work comes back with record highs, beating all the previous tests. Life is good. I'm now married and I'm unafraid of infecting anyone and even having sex again. Gary is always on the forefront of what is happening and what can be done to combat this disease. His depth of knowledge is incredible. He knew so much then, and now that the fake media doesn't. Yeah, he basically gave me the best medical care I could have hoped for. And what I wanted to read this for is because you learn a lot of lessons from this, and it pretty much explains, the lessons I've learned through all the years, 34 years, treating the HIV positive and the LGBT community here in Connecticut, and with all of our experiences treating those with HIV out in Zimbabwe. So the lessons we learned is, number one from this is love. Love conquers all. The love and support of the gay community that they gave to this heterosexual white woman in this time of crisis showed her love, support, gave her hope, and I think were integral in her living a normal, healthy life today. Giving. So I was brought up to give, give, give. That's what it was ingrained in me. When I was a teenager, we went to Big Brothers of Greater Miami, and we as fraternity brothers in high school had all, little brothers that we cared for. And I've been giving pretty much ever since. Every little bit of giving comes back to you in ways you'll never know until you finally experience what giving is all about. And Healthcare Advocates International is all about giving. But we're also all about hope, optimism, hope, a warm, friendly environment, a positive attitude. All of these are life-saving for people in need. Not only people HIV positive, but people in our LGBT community. We've learned perspective from this also, because everything has a differing, sobering perspective if your eyes are open wide enough to see, and if your mind needs to be open wide enough so you can learn from all of these different experiences and perspectives. Fate. I don't know if you believe the same way I do, but I believe everything happens for a reason. If you allow it, every experience can positively impact your growth as a person. And the last thing, I learned this early on in my career, is to fight. Fight, fight, fight. Stigma and discrimination still exists in the HIV community and the LGBT communities and everywhere throughout the world. We deal with stigma, today with COVID and with everything we do. So for the final message, I just want everybody to know, it doesn't matter where you are, who you are, where you come from, whether you have people around you, there are always people around you to love you and support you. I've had an incredible group of people around me, from my husband, Giacomo, to Thomas, who's my creative director, Patty. You've been with me now for 11 years. All these great people. Where's my husband? He doesn't want to come into this. Come on in here.
His wife
we
is
share
here.
this
His
together.
husband should be here.
And that's my husband. This is my husband. This is my wife. And that's my creative director, our head of global outreach advocacy. And but really, thank you very much for this award. I'm very honored. So Ms. Kiki, thank you for it. Patrick, thank you.
I have it right here. I won't drop it.
There it is. Yes. Thank you very much.
Seriously, Dr. Blick, thank you so much for everything that you do. And I say this broadly, you and healthcare advocates and your whole team do so much for our community. And, I can't thank you enough. There's people I love very dearly that I know are alive here because of you and because of your work. And thank you, just from the bottom of my heart, for everything you do.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you too. We're so excited to support you guys. I'm so excited to see, a center like, the Pride Center doing all they're doing for everybody in the state of Connecticut and beyond too. So keep up the great work you guys are doing. We're happy to be part of it.
Awesome. Well, have a good rest of your night and keep enjoying the show.
Thank you. We're enjoying the show for sure. And by the way, last message, we're here because we're all vaccinated. Get vaccinated, okay? And then we'll be back to partying like we've always been partying.
Exactly. Get those shot in those arms.
You know it. Thank you.
Oh, don't break it. Oh, God, don't break it. I hate touching the awards. I'm always afraid I'm going to drop them. Thank you again. Thank you, Dr. Blick. That was amazing. I got a little teary-eyed, and I don't have emotions because I believe, only ugly people have emotions. But I got a little teary-eyed there because that was an incredible speech. So I am so excited to continue going. Oh, Tom, yes, you are still 25 because that was how old you were when I saw you. Oh, Ruby Melton. Hi, Ruby Melton. And I see Jeff Curry, Representative Jeff Curry, former Dorothy Award honoree. So we're going to just keep rocking and rolling here. I am going to really quickly say that there's lots of things to bid on. We're seeing them all come in. One of the things we forgot to mention before now is that you do have the option to just buy one of our raffle items. They're $20. There is a limited number of them. Laura, how many? 25? 25. There's only 25 available for sale. They're $20 and you get a minimum of a $20 value. Oh, thank you. I try. I feel a little bit like I look like Kermit the Frog, but we're going to pretend that I look like Elphaba. So go to dorothy18.givesmart.com and check out those Dorothy baskets, but also go there and check out the other things. There's so many amazing things, including these two fabulous pieces of art behind me. Now, we're going to go to our next performance. We have this incredible partner in the community. They are a former Dorothy honoree. They have done so much over the last 22 years, going into their 22nd year, for our community. They do so many things. Yes, Lindsay, it is not easy being green. Thank you. It is not. It's very hard. But anyway, back to our next performers. They do so much for our community. And one of the most incredible things is in the next year, they are raising money for the New Haven Pride Center. So everything that they're doing is giving back to what we care about in our community. And so I'm so proud to welcome to the stage in their debut performance as a royal family, the Reign 22 royal family of the Imperial Sovereign Court of all Connecticut.
Oh no, this is our family jewel. We are
Hello, look, it's the members of the Imperial Sovereign Court of all Connecticut royal family. Hello, royal family.
Hello, Kiki. So, yep, it's here. I'm Emperor 22 Vu, and I have my Imperial Crown Princess Bonnie Petite and my Imperial Crown Infante Anna Alexander, and we are here at the Shea as for Dorothy Awards North. We're having a great time. Dinner's being served right now. So we're gonna chat with you a little bit, then we're gonna go eat the delicious food downstairs.
How is it there? Is it good energy in the room?
So much good energies. I mean, there are ball gowns everywhere. And the headliners at the Shea S are getting ready to perform, and so we're upstairs right now, and they're all looking fierce. So it's gonna be a great show after.
That's awesome. I'm so glad that you all are having a good time. So what are you raising money for your reign?
So we have 3 amazing RAIN beneficiaries. The first one is A Place to Nourish Your Health in New Haven. They do great case management work. They do things around wellness, prevention, nutrition. So really a great service to our community. Our second beneficiary is the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention Connecticut chapter. I know during the pandemic, it's been a hard time for a lot of folks. So stressing mental health, stressing suicide reduction, stressing that we are here for you and that we are here for each other. And finally, our last RAIN beneficiary is the New Haven Pride Center.
That's us!
For it. We are always so impressed by the work that y'all do. I mean, every single time we go onto Facebook, I feel like there's another educational program for us out there. During the summer, I know we all volunteered for your food distribution programs. And so we see the impact that you're having on the ground every single day. And we so appreciate it. And we're excited to partner with you and to raise money for you. And so if y'all are watching from home, go ahead and donate. Check out that silent auction. And definitely give them all the money because they're going to do amazing things with it.
We're going to try and do amazing things with it. And Josh, I made a new banner for you while that performance is going on because Maya just reminded me from backstage that there is a 4th way that you can make a donation, and that is by texting Dorothy 18 to 76278. And Josh, if you want to put that banner up there, yeah, there it is. You can text, donate. You can give us money on Venmo.
All right, I had to fix a typo in it, so it went away for a second.
Well, I was typing with nails, so. But thank you, amazing. You all look fabulous. And I know that your Empress, Miss Frank, wanted to be here this evening. Unfortunately, she was getting a shot in her arm, but that's okay because that is a good reason to not be here because we should all be so lucky to get shots in our arms very soon. But I adore all of you to pieces. And your performance made me feel so good. I loved. And I enjoyed that you probably scared several people in the park while making it.
Oh my God, we scared one very concerned park ranger. But one of the great things about that performance is actually the slideshow is actually from the last 5 years of the Dorothy Awards that the Imperial Sovereign Court has been to. And we've been to many before that, but it's always one of our highlight events for the year. And we wish that it could be full in person. We're so glad that we do have the Dorothy Awards North to be somewhat in person with folks here. But just going through and reminiscing on all the great times we've had the Dorothy Awards, it was a pleasure to put together. And we're to showcase our family, both the royal family and the family at large here at the Imperial Sovereign Court of all Connecticut, because we love y'all at the New Haven Pride Center.
Well, and the court has been honored. There's been multiple members of the court, Morgana and Trevor, Dandelions, that have been honored over the years. And thank you for everything that the court does. I mean, I feel a little self-serving saying this as a member myself, but the court does incredible things for our community every day. They raise money and they give it away without any kind of selfishness or recognition wanted or needed. And that's what I think is one of the most incredible things about the court. And I'm so glad you all are joining us. Please tell everybody at the Shea that I say hello and that we, they're all watching. So hello, Shea. And we are so excited for this evening. Again, thank you for everything that you do. Now go eat some food because, I know that food is good. Anthony's good in that kitchen there.
Well, it was a pleasure being on with y'all. Have a great rest of your 18th Annual Dorothy Awards.
Thank you. Adore them to pieces. Look, the art changed again, and now I have a puppy. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. A puppy and a beautiful piece by Ricky Mestri. This one is actually semi-permanently here on display at the center. And we love it. We love it. We love it. We love it. So I'm going to do a quick reminder that everybody should be going to dorothy18.givesmart.com to check out our silent auction, to make donations, to buy Dorothy baskets, which means that you could win something. Well, you will win something because there's only 25 of them. You will win something of a value of $20 at least. There's a couple items in there that I think are worth like $100. So you could win a nice little package there. And of course, I want to thank again our incredible presenting sponsors, the Anchor Health and Healthcare Advocates International, and of course our supporting sponsors, the Shay S. Hi Shay, and the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven. All of you made tonight possible in so many ways. Last I checked, we were getting a little bit closer to that $40,000 mark. So keep making those donations, keep going on the auction and bidding, because all of that goes to support the incredible work of the New Haven Pride Center, who does work every single day in our community, every single day. So next is potentially one of the most exciting moments of the evening. I will say that I have gotten 4 calls alone today to make sure that they knew how to watch our next group of honorees. To say that I look up to these incredible women is an understatement. They have done so much to make our community here in New Haven what it is. They never stopped when the pandemic started. In fact, they did even more. And in some way, it is poetic justice that on the 1-year anniversary of the murder of Breonna Taylor, we are going to honor these next 4 women who I can't even say enough about how incredible a difference that they make. And I'm so lucky that I get to work with one of them every single day and the other 3 every other day. So I would like to welcome to the Versus stage, I think we have all 4 of them backstage, the incredible founders of Black Lives Matter New Haven. I'm going to get off the screen because I'm going to let you all say your bit. Mwah.
Hello. Thank you, Kiki. Hi, Josh. Thank you so much. Well, I guess I'll start because I'm always the talker, right? So I'll just take over this space as usual. First, I want to thank you so much to the Pride Center, and thank you so much for honoring us at the 18th Dorothy Awards. When we started Black Lives Matter, I know what my impression of starting Black Lives Matter is. We really didn't know what it was going to grow into, but we knew it was going to be exceptional. And as 4 queer Black women, it is imperative for us to be all up in, we have a stake in the game when it comes to Black Lives Matter. And we appreciate the center for always supporting us no matter what we're doing, from partnering with us to art shows, to making sure that they donate to our individual fundraisers, to our group fundraisers, to making sure they promote the work that we're doing without asking. And furthermore, we want to make sure that we also thank some of the sponsors of New Haven Pride Center, because they have also poured into us. So thank you, Te Amo. Thank you, G Cafe. You folks are some of the people that make sure that we're able to give back to the communities in the ways that you see us giving back to the communities. And lastly, I'm just going to say that if you are not fighting for Black lives, then you are not fighting for queer lives. So thank you so much for this honor. We will continue to make you proud. We are going to continue to move in excellence. And I'm going to throw it to the rest of my team.
So thank you to the New Haven Pride Center for recognizing our strength, our spirit, our courage and power. Thank you to the team. Thank you for sharing your journey with me. Thank you for simply being you, your hard work and dedication. I accept this award with the spirit of liberating our community with energy, with respect, love, integrity, synergy, healing, and change. I am honored to accept this award during Women's History Month as a Black queer woman, during a time we are intentionally shaping narratives and conversations to amplify and value Black lives. I appreciate this award because society often forget about people that look like me. Society forgets to celebrate, protect, acknowledge, honor, follow, and listen to Black women. I appreciate and accept this award because the system fails so many people that look like me, that look like us. I accept this award for my younger self and my mature self. I accept this award for Brianna and so many others who have lost their lives. I accept this award because I believe I am deserving, so thank you.
That was beautiful.
I'll go. You want to go, Donnie?
You can go, cause you can go.
Wow, it's been a long time since all four of us been, I guess we could say, together. So we're gonna always have jokes. But I like to say first and foremost, rest in peace to Breonna Taylor. And I would ask that anybody that's watching to donate to a Black woman today. I don't care who she is to you, just donate to her in honor of her. Secondly, shout out to my team. I work alongside some powerful, strong Black women, and I will go on record to say that you won't find another group of dope women like us in the state of Connecticut. So big up to Sun, to Ala, Dawnise, Ashley, and Myasia. If you don't have Black women in your tribe, go find you one, or some. It's been 5 years doing this community work around the city of New Haven. We've done everything from back to school drives to providing necessities to less fortunate people, our less fortunate brothers and sisters, to holding officials accountable for their actions in New Haven, to showing solidarity to our surrounding cities like Hamden, Bridgeport, Waterbury, and Hartford. It really doesn't seem that long, but we've been in the game, we've been doing things, and it's an honor to be recognized and know that people are looking at us and want to honor us. This is the 18th Annual Dorothy Awards. I'm gonna be honest, I never heard of it until a while ago. So that's big, 18 years to be giving out awards to people. That's major for us to be recognized in that light. So thank you.
So as I mentioned, 5 years. 6 years ago, I was a person who did not recognize the things that were happening to Black people in the community, the things that we go through every day as a Black person, a person of color, a queer person. I was the one who on Saturdays and Sundays, I wanted to turn up and I was okay with that. Life was good. So then I came back to New Haven, which I was born and raised here, and things turned around for me. I had to learn myself. I had a new life to live. I had new things to fight for, So Black Lives Matter New Haven kind of gave me a new purpose in life. I am honored to be sitting in the windows with these three women. This is amazing to be recognized. Although, I kind of stepped aside and started doing my own thing, focusing on mental health, and all the things that I'm doing is still a part of Black Lives Mattering. So I like to thank the Prize Center. I like to humbly accept this Dorothy Award, and I just know that the mission isn't over. The marathon continues, and you'll see us, you'll see me, Kimboy Nia, Black Lives Matter, New Haven, I'd like to thank the additional members, Myasia and Ashley, for keeping it going, especially in my absence or my step aside. But this dope. I'm dope. Y'all dope. And thank you. I appreciate the love.
Well, I have your awards. Well, I have Son's Award technically right now, but all of you have one of these. And I just want to say that I'm going to hand this to Laura so I don't drop it. I just want to say that I admire and follow in all of your footsteps. What you do every day, the energy that you commit is incredible. And you know, the award, when you get it, you'll see it says the Line Award. It's a special award that we do at the Dorothys. It's like the next tier that you are part of the people who advocate at such a level. You are all lionesses, and you are all just I can't thank you enough for what you do to make our world a better place. And the only thing else I can say is we should have honored you sooner, because you are all just incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Y'all are amazing. I'm really excited to be in this community. And so thank you so much to everyone who is donating. Make sure you keep donating, hit those donation buttons. So much of the money that you have made sure that the Pride Center has not only gone into the hands of artists, but has gone into the hands of young Black and brown, queer young people, young queer people, period, of every racial demographic and background, since COVID has hit and before, and we will continue to do it after. And so we're thank you for this honor, because we're doing the work. We're all doing the work, and we all are moving with courage. When I think of being a lioness, because I'm a Leo, right? I think about the courage and the strength that it takes. And that is something that I know that I got from being this amazing queer Black woman. So thank you so much for identifying that. And thank you for seeing us. It feels so good to be seen. And although we do not do this work for awards, you know, you never know how much you wanted one until you get your first one. So thank you so much.
Well, I just, in closing, want to say that anytime, anything that you all need, the center is here. I'm ready to get in those trenches with you all every single day. And finally, in closing, the New Haven Pride Center strongly believes that Black Lives Matter. And I am so, so proud to share space with all of you all the time.
Thank you.
Love you, Kiki.
Well, we're going to keep this going. And actually, we have a special message before our next performer. We have a special clip from one of our presenting sponsors, Healthcare Advocates International.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gary Blick. I'm the founder of Healthcare Advocates International. I've been an HIV specialist for the last 33 years, treating HIV even before AZT was approved. At HCAI, we have full services. So we have an APRN here who is HIV specialist also, as well as a registered nurse. We also have our executive director and CEO, Patty McKnight, who is very mission oriented. I met her in 2011, and within 5 days of meeting her, she was on a plane to Africa with me.
Our mission is to end HIV as a global health crisis in the developed and developing worlds, all its associated comorbidities and sexually transmitted diseases. To fight stigma and discrimination and end homelessness, we have so many initiatives. Our first I would mention is HIV Advocates.
That program was called HIV Equal, which we took throughout the world, but we broadened the mission of HIV Equal, and that's what HIV Advocates has become. We've devoted our lives and our mission to fighting stigma and discrimination.
We do this with an emphasis on the LGBTQ and HIV communities. What continues to inspire us is our patient population as well as our LGBTQ and HIV communities. And they've been through so much but continue to have a smile on their faces. We also work with homelessness programs such as Y2Y, the Youth Continuum, Transcend, the New Haven Pride Center, the Terrence Higgins Foundation, Jim Collins Foundation.
We also have a program called Zimbabwe AIDS Project. We've set up a specialty clinic to treat people with HIV and also dealing with general medicine. We treat and diagnose all sexually transmitted infections. We do treatments and vaccinations for everything related to HIV as well as sexually transmitted infections. We try to give Gardasil vaccination to everybody regardless of their age. If people can't afford care, we will be able to supply their care if they meet their financial requirements that we have set up in our HCAI Patient Assistance Program.
I think we've all been through so much lately with COVID-19, and planning for the future was so uncertain.
We've been doing telemedicine since March 16th when Connecticut closed down. With a small reopening, we're seeing patients back in the office here.
Next year in 2021, we hope to put all those postponements back on the calendar, and we look forward to continuing to save one life at a time.
That was some good music that was picked for that. Sorry, just dancing away. Again, thank you, Healthcare Advocates, for being one of our presenting sponsors this evening. I also want to give a big shout out to Anchor Health, who did not send us a video for this evening, but they have amazing videos on TikTok and on YouTube and on Facebook, so you should go check them out. They're doing this whole doc series, which is fabulous, where you get to sit down with their head doctor, Dr. AJ, and just learn Dr. AJ Eckert and learn everything and anything you might need to know about your healthcare. So we're going to keep going with one of my favorite people in all of Connecticut. Our next performer. So I'm just going to say, everybody is talking about how the inauguration made spoken word art like a thing and how it's all popular now because I'm just going to say that the first time that our next performer got up and did spoken word, that was when spoken word became popular. And that was when everybody was like, oh, spoken word is an art form that I love. So I'm just going to bring to the stage someone who I adore to pieces. She does so many incredible things. She's an artist. She works with Kimura's Cultural Corner in Hartford, and she is just phenomenal. So please welcome to our virtual stage, Versatile Poetic.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me, and congratulations to everyone, all the recipients, part of the Dorothy Awards. Beautiful people. I admire all of you. I want to be like you when I grow up. So I'm going to perform a poem of mine. I'm a University of Hartford alumni. I wrote this poem. I graduated in 2009 from the University of Hartford. And this poem was a poem I wrote. I was in transition, so I was coming out and I changed my style, okay? And it's about me. I've been performing it for over 10 years. It's almost like, when there's a good book, a good movie, or I guess a good poem, it's classic. So I'm low-key sometimes a little tired of performing it, I'll be honest with you. But the message, I think, is clear. And even when I pass away, hopefully this message will continue. So I hope that all of you will learn something about me. And I hope that you'll also learn something about yourselves. To even try to depict me, do me a favor, grab a Dutch with flavor. I'll break up the words and roll the knowledge. Now you pull the intellect. Wait, hold it. Feel the stimulation and blow the poetry. Now that you've inhaled this poetic high, let's give it a try. What do you wonder when you see a woman living not by what supposed to be? 5'8", long hair, thick thighs, little booty, and brown skin lay under the blankets of materialism that covers my exterior and traps my interior. I'm a foreign lesson, unknown to you, so approach me with caution. My mind is dense and hard a beating nightmare. Athletic, ambitious, and outgoing are traits that don't create me. I'm a fiend for pulling a trigger and blowing away ignorance. I despise the fools that label themselves because society said so. Don't define me because definitions are our best friend to Webster. And don't try to look for the 4 one of me, because Wikipedia won't tell you the full truth. My swag busts through like a good nut and leaves them thinking, what? My attitude doesn't reflect what they thought, but what they see in me. I'm a rebel to the rules and a conformist to the abnormal. You see, most eyes that are set upon me see an image of a male. Why? They say men wear this and women wear that. Claimed who? Well, I wear those and these, so I am this and that together. My uniqueness is fed as different, but swallowed as judgment. I have a personality that is personable, I must confess. An emotion you can never configure. It's no advertisement. You see, women snicker when I pass by because they're intrigued by my mystery and trapped by the closet. Men beam when I walk by, showing their lit because they think I got in between their woman split. I laugh because if my clothes were off, those men would hit. Now let's penetrate a little deeper. You roll the knowledge this time. People like me get killed for their existence. And when I die, I'm going out smiling, knowing I was me. You see, many wear masks because they're horrified by who they really are. Now, please wash down what I said with a glass of sense, because we got to make it common to the people so they understand my sexuality isn't my preference. It's only my resource. What is me? Poetry is me. Music is me. A white rose is me. Genesis 6 is me. Darfur is me. 4 little girls in Alabama is me. Matthew Shepard is me. Troy Davis is me. Trayvon Martin is me. Mike Brown is me. Eric Garner is me. Alton Sterling is me. Philando Castile is me. Tamir Rice is me. Sandra Bland is me. Breonna Taylor is me. Ahmad Arbery is me. George Floyd is me. Anybody brutalized by the police that didn't make the national news is me. Black Lives Matter is me. Black Lives Matter New Haven is me. Sandy Hook Elementary School is me. Pulse Nightclub is me. Charleston, South Carolina is me. Las Vegas, Nevada is me. New Parkland, Florida is me. The Dorothy Awards is me. New Haven Pride Center is me. Love is me. Pain is me. War is me. Terror is me. The woman in New York City that holds the torch is me. Oh, discover something. It is seen. It is felt. It's known. And it's lived. Who am I? You all are me. Thank you very much. My name is Versatile Poetic.
Snap, 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 snaps. Snap, snap, snap. Snap, 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 snaps. Thank you, Versatile. You are amazing. All the hair on my body that I shaved off earlier is standing on end. It is that poem every single time gives me life. Every time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Love you.
Love you too. I'm so excited that you could be a part of tonight. Maybe next year we can have you do that in person. And yeah, just thank you for being you and for speaking your truth and for doing so much with Cimora's Cultural Corner in Hartford and for the Black Art Heals tour that you did earlier this year. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Love y'all.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Oh, that was amazing. So we're gonna keep rolling here. I'm gonna have to take a chat. What am I doing? Oh, we have another honoree. The best part of one of the best moments that happened this evening was when Laura went to go find our next honorees award and was panicking that it was not here, and then said, "Patrick, I can't find the award." And I said, "Oh no, they came and got it already." So they have it at home with them, maybe next to them when we bring them up. But our next performer, well, you're kind of a performer in the sense that you do so much for our community. It's like art. But our next honoree, I think you got the most nominations of all our honorees this year. We always get multiple nominations for small groups of people, and then go down to that final group of people. And I think our next honoree may have gotten the most nominations this year, but it's because they're amazing. They do so much for our community, and sometimes it may not feel like just representing yourself in the public eye. It doesn't feel like activism, but let me tell you, it is. Being yourself in front of your community is sometimes some of the hardest activism and organizing that you can do. And our next honoree does that. They represent us in our government. They represent us by using their voice to advocate for trans athletes. They use their voice to advocate for the trans community in general. They use their voice to advocate for all of the community, regardless of sexual orientation, gender identity. And they do that gracefully, incredibly, humbly, and they make such an incredible difference. And I am so excited to welcome to the virtual stage our next honoree, Representative Raven Matherne. Hey, Raven!
Thank you so much for having me. That was quite an intro. You got me blushing, shaking, sweating, all the usual anxiety laden things.
Everything I said was true. Everything I said was true.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I cannot state just how honored I am to have been included amongst this group of honorees and amongst the group of previous Dorothy Award honorees. I still remember the first time I came to the Dorothy Awards, and I was only just recently out of the closet even myself, and it was one of the first places where I got to see and interact with the community, and it was such a educational experience for me. I am beyond honored to have been selected to receive a Dorothy Award. I would like to take a moment to do the thank yous and the shout outs and all that fun stuff. Obviously, I want to thank my parents. One of the most important things is as I talk to trans people, I realize how thankful I should be for something that kind of goes under the radar for so many people. And that's I had supportive family. My parents supported me. At no point in my life did I worry that if I came out that they weren't going to support me. I was worried about the impacts to my life beyond that, but I had their support, and that is the world. Without that, I would have been able to achieve nothing. Another thing I'd like to highlight for y'all is just the New Haven Pride Center's Trans Adult Support Group. I represent District 19 in Stamford, where I live, which is, for those familiar with Connecticut geography, it's not the closest city to New Haven. We're that way a little bit, but I was driving all the way up to New Haven to find time for me to feel like I didn't have to explain my own existence while interacting with people. You can't find that as a trans person, unless you're with a group of trans people. And there are so few of us that it is very difficult to find family to hang out with, to know what is supposed to be normal. And New Haven Pride Center does that. They let trans people have access to a group of people that lets them know what's supposed to be normal. It lets us have a place that we can go back and shelter ourselves and rebuild our defenses so that we can go back out and continue to fight this war against a society that is structured in such a way that every man and every woman and every person just genuinely believes that people like us are something less than human. New Haven Pride Center's Transgender Adult Support Group is just a most valuable public resource I could think of. So I could sit here and talk for hours and still have not expressed enough express my thanks to that group enough. I know a lot of times people finish award speeches and stuff with a optimistic note or a call to arms and stuff like that, and I'd like to try to do that as well. Before I was an elected official, I was a professional martial artist of 10 plus years. I'm not an attorney, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an accountant. Quite frankly, before I was elected, people would say I'm not qualified. When I lost my job, I was given the gift of free time to knock doors and talk one-on-one with every person in my neighborhood to prove to them that I'm qualified. And I was able to do that. Not everyone has the time to knock doors and talk to literally every neighbor to convince them that they are qualified and not the stereotypes they're led to believe trans people are. If you watch TV, any channel, pick a channel. I would end this with a challenge. I would challenge any of you, each and every one of you, to check your districts, to see who's running. Every step of the way that I've been on my journey, the thing that I find leads to the problems that many people face with government is that our government is atrophied. So few people are engaged with local government that the smallest, loudest minorities can have big sway. And that is when the wrong groups get into that and get a hold of that, they are able to make the lives of people like us miserable, unlivable. But that works for us too. If you can, run for office. I'm not saying you got to go run for president or senator. What's your board of finance look like? What's your board of representatives look like? How about your zoning board? How about your local Democratic city committee or Republican town committee? Get involved at any level. Any level. Get more, like I've been in this for 3 years. I was thrilled to be the first transgender elected lawmaker in our state. It's 3 years later and I still like the only trans elected lawmaker in this state. If you've got the time, if you can, be a voice. And yeah, I do. I don't know if I've heard this before, but I do have my award. It's incredible. Thank you all.
Thank you, Raven. And you know, I'm just gonna do a big underline under what you just said. We need more people from our community running for elected office. There has been some folks that have tried and they've had some roadblocks, and the more of us in representing our community in our government, the better. And you are so right that it can happen at any level, right? Like in New Haven, we have commissions for the city. We have, you know, it's low threshold responsibility, low threshold time commitment, but you can do something like that and have a big impact. So thank you again for everything that you do. Thank you for representing us. And thank you for continuing to be that voice in our government that represents our community the way you do.
It is the honor of my lifetime to get to serve in this capacity. I couldn't ask for anything more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, now we have a very special message from the New Haven Pride Center's 4 program officers. So Josh, do you want to play our little video?
My name is Ochumare, and I am the youth program officer at the New Haven Pride Center.
Hi, I'm Miranda Rector. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm the women's program officer here at the New Haven Pride Center.
Hola, my name is Max Cisneros. He pronouns él, him, he, and I am the Latinx program officer at the New Haven Pride Center.
My name is Elliot Olson, and I am the trans, non-binary, and intersex program officer at the New Haven Pride Center.
Our programming supports youth and their initiatives and their visions and the things that they want to see brought forth to the community.
I think the greatest triumph of the programming that I get to do here at the New Haven Pride Center is uplifting the queer and trans women in New Haven communities and across Connecticut and being able to really connect with them and support them.
Programs about speaking about things that we hear about in English, but don't necessarily hear about in Spanish. And so those have been the ones that have been most affirming.
We can directly serve those who are most affected.
So you heard it right from the voice of our incredible 4 program officers, Max, Elliot, Miranda, Alat. Thank you all. You make our programming a thing. And when this crazy pandemic hit And I said to you, okay, we're going to figure out virtual programming, and y'all got 30 days to like come up with panels and conversations and virtual programmings and book discussions and food programs and everything else that we did. They all did it, and they did it with a smile on, and somehow we did it all together. And over 100 virtual events since March. Just March through, March through December 31st, we did 107, I think it was, if I'm remembering correctly, virtual events. And it would not have happened without our program officers. And it also would not happen without your donations. So if we were at the Dorothy Awards, right now would be the moment when Josh and I would rattle off all these statistics, and we do this whole thing, and we'd be like, and you give us $100, and you give us $100, and you give us $1,000, and unfortunately, virtually, it's not as easy to do that. But I think we can do something, right, Josh? We can like get some people donating.
Yes, well, I think there's a couple of things we should mention above and beyond the 107 virtual programs. So first things first, you met our 4 program officers, but that's not our entire team. We first off have an executive director who, Kiki, you might know this person. I don't know, maybe once or twice you met.
I feel like
they're never in the same room at the same
before.
time. They're never in the same room at the same time. It's like Superman and Clark Kent. But Patrick Dunn, our executive director, of course. We have Juan Carlos Soto, who is our case manager and sort of our deputy director, who does a lot of things in the center to help it keep running. We've got our new grants manager that we just hired, who's helping Devante, who's amazing.
Fabulous.
Yep, and we have Laura, of course. So we have all these great people that are working on our staff. Maya, who's doing marketing, did all these great graphics that you see on the screen tonight.
And she's literally on the other room counting the dollars and straightening them out from the donations that are coming in.
Smoothing them out, making them face all the same direction.
Little piles.
Yes, but more importantly, I think it's also important to underscore that we've done 107 virtual programs in 2020. We plan on continuing to maintain a virtual programming cadence, even when physical programming is possible. Groups will still be able to meet with a virtual component as well as in person. Events like Pride and the Dorothy Awards will continue to have a virtual component as well as in person. So we're not going to take those of you who have gotten very comfortable using some of our virtual programming to learn or to participate. Maybe you can't get to physical locations. Maybe you're 2 hours away. You know, Connecticut's a small, big state, right? Like, we talk about driving from New Haven to Hartford and Hartford to New Haven like it's like the most difficult thing, but some people just don't have the access. Some people don't have the transportation. And so
listen, I don't have a car. I know how hard it is.
So we just want you to, we want to underscore that this is not an or thing, right? We moved to virtual programming because we had to. It's going to be an and thing, right? And so your donations are also going to help us maintain this. It helps us bring in speakers from across the country that flying them in would be cost prohibitive, but participating in a virtual event, we can have their knowledge and expertise on screen for our community. And so I just want to make sure that everybody understands what we're doing now is not a temporary thing. We actually have now evolved the organization to be even more accessible to more people in more ways.
Yeah, I said this the other day to one of our grant funders who gave us very generously some money from their COVID relief fund, and they said, "How has COVID impacted your organization?" And they gave all these qualifiers like how many staff were lost, how much money did you lose, how many programs were canceled, and my first sentence was, COVID was one of the best things that happened to the Pride Center. I mean, obviously it's been hard, and you know, I'll say openly, I've had COVID. I don't recommend it. It's not fun. It tried to kill me. You know, from that sense, it was not the best thing to happen to us, but it made us think. It made us reimagine what we do. It made us say, how can we be here for the community in every way possible? And how can we do that while hopefully not killing ourselves, which we got very close to during the food program. But I can't say enough about the way the staff and the team here has just thrown every ounce of energy into the work. You know, I'm going to quote good friend of mine, love her to pieces, Carly Webb, who says, you know, when everybody stood back, our Pride Center stood up. And I think that's true. You know, one of the things that Maya wrote very early on in the pandemic, maybe even in that first week when we were trying to figure out how to continue to do what we do, but not be physically open. She wrote, transphobia, homophobia, and biphobia thrive in isolation. And that has been our mantra. That has been what propelled us forward the last year, literally almost to the day. And the idea that we have to come into people's homes and be there with them at all times to keep that all those obias away and make sure people have support, particularly our young people, particularly our older community members, particularly our community members that might be in a household that doesn't know their true selves. It is so important that we get to them and we be there for them. And every donation that you give does that. And now I'm going to leave you with that as we go into our next performance. But during that performance, and this was not on purpose, it just kind of happened this way. Keep remembering that as you're watching that performance, and consider texting that donate, going to Dorothy 18 on GiveSmart, going to Venmo, going to Cash App and making a donation. And so with that, our next performer, she is a real La Beja, as I like to say, the fabulous Ziamari La Beja.
Me and Benjamin Franco stay at the banco, getting checks like Nike everywhere that I go. You ain't getting no pesos, ¿qué estás haciendo?
J-Lo.
Quiero dinero.
Another one.
Me and my man, we stack it up to the ceiling.
More money.
Cállate la boca, let me finish.
More money.
Every day I'm alive, I make a killing.
Let's get it.
Yeah, I swear I'ma get it. Yo quiero dinero. Yo quiero dinero. I just want the green, want the money, want the cash flow. Yo quiero la venta, sí, 50, sí, lo siento. Yo quiero dinero. Yo quiero dinero. I just want the green, want the money, want the cash flow. Yo quiero la venta, sí, 50, sí, lo siento. Soy la princesa San Juan, Puerto Rico. They say money talk, but my talking bilingual. I should be cuffed though, cause I don't do singles. In love with the money, so no need to mingle. Just back it up, hot talk, yeah, back it up. Holla at that if you acting up. You ain't got that, you can sit with us, yeah. Sign the frames, make you double take. Ben and Andy on a double day. Grand just hit me, city on the way. Yo quiero dinero. I just want the green, want the money, want the cash flow. Yo quiero la venta, sí, 50, sí, lo siento.
Cardi
Look,
B.
they gon' do what I say, so Cardi B and J-Lo talk behind my back, but never up in my face, though. I just want my money, chips, guac, and queso. Y'all can kiss my ass, dame un beso. Dominicana, drippin' designer. I got the juice, no Tropicana. I got the box that got the most flavor. Big fat cat like in the bodega. Still making money move? Tell me what you think. Merengue to the money, bachata to the bank. I spice it up, I'm nice sofrito. I need my money, yo necesito. I told ya, I'm Chef Selena. I backhand a bitch like Serena. We need the guap, run up in your spot. Put it to your head like, give me what you got. Two bad bitches that came from the Bronx. Cardi from the pole and Jenny from the back.
Yo quiero dinero. I just want the green, want the money, want the cash flow. Yo quiero la venta, sí, 50, sí, lo siento. Yo quiero dinero. I just want the dinero. I just want the dinero. I just want the dinero. Yo quiero dinero. Yo quiero dinero. I just want the green, want the money, want the cash flow. Yo quiero la venta, sí, 50, sí, lo siento.
Me and Benjamin Franco stay at the banco, getting checks like Nike everywhere that I go. You ain't getting no pesos, ¿qué estás haciendo? Stack it up like Legos, quiero dinero.
Yes!
Yay!
Love me some Ziamari. Love me some Ziamari. That was so fierce.
I had two quick things I wanted to throw in before we move on, while we wrap up the donation section. First of all, on behalf of the board of directors, I want to thank every single staff member at the New Haven Pride Center. working so hard. It's not an easy thing to shift gears, to work all the nights and weekends that have been required to make this possible. Every single staff member that was with us a year ago is still with us today. Every single person rolled up their sleeves and made this possible. So we really want to take a moment to thank all of you for the work that you've done this year. It really means the world, obviously, to the community, but also we're so appreciative as a board of what you're doing. And the second thing, those of you who attend the Dorothy Awards each year know that my father makes a contribution each year as part of the Rosa Nilva O'Connell Scholarship Fund, which we founded in my mom's name almost 6 years ago now. I am happy to confirm that he has once again committed more than $1,000 to donate to the scholarship funds, including the $1,000 that we award for her. And you'll have that check, Kiki. So go ahead and put that in the tally. But
yeah, so we're gonna just add a little zero to the end of where we are now. We're gonna add at least $1,000. That I think might push us over 40. We've been creeping closer and closer, and every time somebody goes to bid on an auction or buy one of our Dorothy baskets or make a donation, give us some of that dinero, we are getting closer and closer and closer. So thank you all who are watching and contributing. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all. I am so excited that Facebook has not taken us down yet.
Yes.
I mean,
2
knock
hours
on
in.
some wood, because knock on wood, because I just said that and now it will go away.
there's
But
6 of them too, so please no.
Yeah. Facebook, if you're listening, please don't take what I just said seriously.
Out of 8 places we're streaming right now, there's 6 Facebooks I'd have to reactivate. So let's not do that in the next half hour, please. Please. All right, back to you.
Yes, back to me. So we are almost at the end here. Oh, I kind of matched that painting. I didn't even notice that. And look, Sylvia Hart is with us. Where is she? She's here. Sylvia Hart. This is actually an archival piece that we have of Sylvia, who has recently retired, but longtime Dorothy Award performer and attendee. So Sylvia, you're with us. Thank you. But so we have one honoree left. We saved one of the best for last. I won't say the best because that makes it sound like I'm picking favorites, and I should not be doing that. But I am so honored to have our next honoree. They do so much for our community, and they sometimes do it from the other side of the world. They are a global innovator, and I don't say that lightly. They create impact everywhere that they go, and they keep doing the work at home while they may not be at home. And right now they are not in Connecticut, and they have been flying around and doing the good work, and while protecting themselves and the community and the world. And I can see them nodding along, so I know I'm saying the right thing. But they seriously have a huge impact. They do so much work in our community. More specifically, they do so much incredible work, and their organization, Life My Days, does so much incredible work in Waterbury, which is one of those places in Connecticut that we sometimes like to forget is there. And they have made sure that we do not forget that they are there, and they need all the same resources and support that everybody else does. I also want to give a huge shout out to the fact that when this whole thing happened last March, they took the idea of mutual aid and made it a real thing in our state. It had been there, it had been doing and happening on various scales, but they said, no, we got to do this together. We can do this together. We can lift people up together. We can make a difference together. And that is one of the reasons why I think they were nominated so many times this year. And definitely one of the reasons why we said, yes, this is who we want to honor. So it is with that I'm going to bring Ahmad to the stage, the virtual stage. Hey, Ahmad. Oh my God, I love your earrings and your hair.
Thank you. Yeah, you haven't seen me in a while, so I figured I'll come with the curls, with the earrings, with the Palestinian shirt, with everything.
I love it. And I didn't even get to say that, but we are Middle Eastern sisters, so to speak.
Yes.
And so I'm gonna shut up. But thank you for all you do. Mwah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. I remember a few years ago, and by a few, 10 years ago, when I first started doing work, anytime anyone read any part of my bio or any kind of accomplishments or anything, it almost sounded as if it was a completely different person. And I'm so proud of myself being in a space where I'm like, yes, and feel free to say more. Yes, I am the best. And also everyone can be the best. And kind of on behalf of different organizers around the state, of also y'all are welcome. I will get to thank yous a little bit later, but I do feel that it is so incredibly important to also kind of just highlight the incredible amount of work that happens across the state by organizers that will never fully be acknowledged. And even if folks are receiving awards every single day, and I'm thinking of literally hundreds of individuals on the ground in the state on its own, other than like people all around, even just those hundreds of individuals, if you gave them awards every single day, it would still not be enough to repay the amount of labor and the amount of sacrifices that go into the work that we do every single day. Right? And again, I'm including hundreds of other organizers within that because it is a lot. It's a constant amount of work and constant sacrifices. And just a lot of different trauma that happens within it. And also at the same time, a lot of rewards for being able to serve our communities and actually being at the forefront of different things. And at times, you know, when things go really well, being actually able to physically see it, like how we were able to kind of see it with the pandemic, with mutual aid work, and with alternative system building. One of the things that I really pride myself on is that all the work that I try doing is always rooted in a sense of transformation. And what I mean by that is that I will support work of changing the system from within. I will support work of disrupting the systems in terms of dismantling the systems. But my favorite area of work is actually building completely alternative systems. And so one of the things I wanted to talk to folks about today is really that concept, right, of our communities cannot wait. Right? We can't wait 5, 10, 20, 30, 50 years until different parts of the systems get it right, until other parts of systems actually fight for our communities and actually support us in the way that we deserve and in the ways that we need to. And that's been one of the most beautiful things to see over the last year, is that there was finally space to build those alternative systems. So with things like mutual aid, right, with being able to create close to a dozen different mutual aid local groups and CT mutual aid kind of across the state. I remember even just like 3 months into the pandemic, CT mutual aid had received requests and had supported individuals from 89 different municipalities across the state. The amount of needs that were out there was immense. And thankfully the response was there. And also at the same time, we acknowledged that the response was nothing in comparison to the amount of need that was out there. And a huge shout out to the Pride Center, right, for stepping up, for being at the forefront of that, for showing up in some of the most amazing ways. I'm constantly talking about the Pride Center as an example of how you can show up for your community and how you can support the work that's actually happening. I also wanted to highlight within that a couple other things that are currently happening that I believe are absolutely necessary for our communities. One of them is building alternative mental health and domestic violence support systems. With everything that happened in June with the murder of George Floyd, and just with everything that's kind of coming to the forefront for like the millionth time, right? Because it's just a cycle, it continues being brought forward. And even today, we recognize that Black lives still do not matter. In 2021, we were finally able to have conversations about how do we completely move away from a police response, right, for mental health and for domestic violence, and how do we build alternative systems within our communities. And I'm really honored to say that there are different groups across the state that are doing some of that work, that are building those systems, and they do need a lot of support. And lastly, the final area that I really wanted to highlight is in terms of capacity building and incubation in general for individuals at the forefront of this work to receive the support that they need, so that we're not replicating the same work over and over and over again. One of the things I've learned along the way is how much effort each organizer has to put into kind of creating the exact same thing as other individuals, and moving through the different hoops that are, and the barriers that are set up for us when we don't necessarily have to do that. And that was one of the beautiful things with mutual aid, is we were able to eliminate a lot of those barriers of having centralized systems where software is centralized, conversations with funders is a little bit centralized, and there's support from end to end. And so really looking forward for us to continue that. And it's so critical. And again, thankfully across the state, there is some of that work happening, but that is work that still needs to be supported. So I did want to before I go to the thank yous really quick, speak to the funders in the room, whether you work at a foundation, whether you're on the board of a foundation, whether you are a philanthropist and you're just making donations to different groups and organizers. Fund work that you're not ready for, right? Because if each of us just sits in the privilege that we each carry, and I include myself in that, because every single person has some level of privilege, but if we sit within that and only support work that we're ready for, there's no way that we would ever know what a community's needs actually are when they are more marginalized than we are, right? Which goes, again, for every single person. And so fund work that you're not ready for, fund work that seems impossible, because the reality is everything I'm talking about didn't start with the pandemic, right? We wanted to set up mutual aid a year before the pandemic started, and not a single foundation was willing to risk any funds into it. Right? It was seen as nice, but unnecessary. And then the pandemic happened and everything changed. Same with a lot of the work that the Pride Center is doing, right? Patrick didn't come up with these ideas, and the staff at the Pride Center didn't come up with these ideas just this last year. It's been ongoing. We've always known what our community needs are, but there wasn't that many funding or funders willing to risk that, right? So fund the things that you are not ready for. So lastly, just really want to thank the Pride Center, thank everyone there. Patrick has been just like one of the most supportive individuals. I want to thank some of the incredible leadership in community, in Connecticut in particular, specifically thanking Bilal and Ivy for some of their early support of my work from a few years ago. Huge thank you to everyone that's here. I'm so glad that this was virtual. I was able to have family members and family members, both chosen and blood relations, from 4 different countries and 12 different states here with us, which I never imagined would be possible. So a huge shout out to everyone. And then finally, just a huge shout out to some of the individuals that have made my last 7 months, as I kind of take a little bit of a step back from full-time organizing and kind of rest a little bit. So specifically Michael, Kenzie, Jordan, Aaron, Christina, just huge thank yous in addition to my family members, right, who have really made the last 6 months and 7 months really transformative, really filled with healing. And lastly, before I finish, in terms of the funding piece, fund rest for organizers. Fund the things that allow us to continue doing this, because it is exhausting. And I can't tell you how many people I know that are completely burned out by it. I've seen people die. I've seen people be incarcerated, deported, end up in mental health facilities, be homeless, and the list goes on and on. We need rest. We need additional support. And y'all are able to provide that. So again, huge thank you to the Pride Center, because they have always stood by those values. And I'm so honored to be here in the midst of all of these other incredible recipients. So thank you.
Yay! Ahmad, I have your award. It's right here. It's ready for you. Just tell me which country to ship it to, because I never know where you are.
We'll figure it out.
Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for all the ways that you give back. And I can't thank you enough, and life in my days enough, for the work specifically around mutual aid, because it's been work that has made a difference in our community, and I see the difference because I'm in all those groups with you and all the other incredible organizers. So thank you. Mwah. Well, we are almost to the end of the evening, and we have one last thing to do, I think, before we send you all home. Oh wait, you're already there. But we have one last thing to do, and that is a performance by this, slightly unknown.
No. You're not gonna do that. We're gonna do this the right way. I'm here, okay? So first of all,
you have to take me off. Then I can't be here.
Well, hold on. Before we do that, let's remind people one last time that they can still make a donation by going to dorothy18.givesmart.com. So that website also is where the silent auction lives. The silent auction is remaining open through the weekend, so you don't have to bid this second. You can still bid tomorrow. So definitely check it out. Make sure that you haven't been outbid, because if you've been outbid, you need to outbid them, right? Because that's how this works. It's a game. You need to chase those items that you love so much. And we have such great items in the auction this year, including a P-Town stay, including David Knapp's fantastic boat trip that goes for such a successful number every year. I've done it once. It's a lot of fun. A lot of really great items. We have the baskets. If you want a guaranteed prize for $20, as long as there's still some available to buy, it's yours. So check those out. And you can also text your donation to 76278, the word Dorothy 18. You can also make a Venmo donation at New Haven Pride Center. Cash App, $ New Haven Pride Center. So bye-bye. I'm going to hide you now. So really quickly, we just want to say thank you to everybody who's joined us tonight before we have this final performance. We know this has been a little bit different, but we hope you had a great time. And hey, we're going to come in under 2 hours for the actual event, which I don't think we've ever done before. Ever. Even if you take out the dancing and the cocktail hour, 2 hours is amazing. But we really are appreciative for you joining us. We're appreciative of our honorees, our performers, our donors, everybody. Thank you. Our sponsors. Let's put the sponsor logos up one last time and remind ourselves, our big sponsors, Anchor Health Initiative, Healthcare Advocates International as our presenting sponsors, the Shea and the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven as our supporting sponsors. All of these other amazing sponsors, our assisting sponsors and our community sponsors, you all have made this possible. You're helping the center do its work every single day. So without further ado, please welcome to the stage one last time, my work wife, my better half, Miss Kiki Lucia.
Alphaba, why couldn't you have stayed calm for once instead of flying off the handle? I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy now. I hope you're happy how you hurt your paws forever. I hope you think you're clever. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy too. I hope you're proud how you would grovel in submission to feed your own ambition. Son, I can't imagine how. I hope you're happy right now. Elfie, listen to me. Just say you're sorry. You can still be with the wizard. What you've worked and waited for. You can have all you ever wanted. I know. But I don't want it. No. I can't want it anymore. Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. Too late for second guessing. Too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts. Close my eyes and leave. It's time to try to find gravity. I think I'll try to find gravity, and you can't pull me down. Can't I make you understand? You're having delusions of grandeur through accepting limits, 'cause someone says they're so. Some things I cannot change, but till I try, I'll never know. Too long I've been afraid of losing love, I guess I'm lost. Well, if that's love, it comes at much too high a cost. I said I'm going to find gravity. Kiss me goodbye, I'm defying gravity, and you can't pull me down. Linda, come with me. Think of what we could do together. Unlimited. Together we're unlimited. Together we'll be the greatest team there's ever been. Glinda dreams the way we planned them. If we work in tandem, there's no fight we cannot win. Just you and I defying gravity. With you and I defying you coming? I hope you're happy now that you're choosing this. You too. I hope it brings you bliss. I really hope you get it and you don't live to regret it. I hope you're happy in the end. I hope you're happy, my someone told me lately, everyone deserves a chance to fly. And if I'm flying solo, at least I'm flying free. Get on to ground me, take a message back to me. Tell them how I am defying gravity and flying high in my gravity. And soon I'll have them in free now. And nobody in all of us, no wizard that there is or was, is ever gonna bring
Yes. Nothing like a live performance from Kiki.
Oh, I got that Broadway voice.
Yes, totally. So one last time, thank you to our honorees, our performers, our board members, our sponsors, our donors, all of you watching tonight for joining us.
Our staff.
Our staff. Oh, shoot. Yes, our staff. Of course, our staff. But thank you, everybody, for making this event possible this year, by joining us, by being a part of this event. We'll be back next year, hopefully with an in-person component, but we promise we'll also have a virtual component too, so everyone can participate like they did this year. We think this is really important to do.
Yes, thank you again to all of our sponsors, our bigwigs, Anchor Health, Healthcare Advocates, Shea S, the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven, and all our other sponsors who made tonight possible. Thank you to everyone who sent in a donation, whether it was $1 or it was $500. You made a difference tonight, and you continue to make a difference because you are making sure that our work can continue. And to quote my very good friend, Frank, the New Haven Pride Center saves lives every day. And when you give us a donation, again, whether it's $1 or it's $1,000, you are making a difference, and you're making sure that this work can continue. And I'm gonna steal something from Ahmad and say, continue to fund the work that makes you uncomfortable, because that was a brilliant statement.
Seriously.
I look forward to continue being with all of you and continuing to work aside all of you and all of the incredible staff of the center and all the incredible organizers that I have the privilege of working beside and learning from every single day, because all of you make me a better person. And hopefully I am in some way contributing the same energy back to you. So thank you. And thank you, Josh, who produced the whole evening tonight, and had to deal with me starting at 7 a.m. this morning, being like, here's a video, here's a this, here's a that,
Can I tell everybody a secret? This was an easy year. Without the physical event, this was kind of an easy year.
I know it was. We actually got a lunch break. Not that I ate, but there was a lunch break that we had. Usually that doesn't happen. Usually I'm like doing my makeup as we're doing things. But no, seriously, thank you, everybody. Thank you to all of our viewers. Thank you to all of our honorees. Your work makes my work possible, makes the work of the center and the community possible. I also have to give a huge shout out to Juan Carlos. He's my other work husband. I'm cheating on you, Josh. But he's my other work husband. He's the center's deputy director. He's our director of case management. Without Juan Carlos, I don't think I would have gotten through this last year. And poor Juan Carlos got thrown into the deep end because his first day was February 1st and the pandemic shut us down on like March 10th. And I mean, seriously, to the whole staff, but I have to give Juan Carlos a huge shout out, because without him, none of this would have happened this year. He gave me the strength to do the work and lead. And there can't be enough love for him. And one last time, hey, Shreyas!
Hey! Yes, and before we wrap, thank you for everything you do every single day. I mean, we talk daily behind the scenes on this, but I don't get to thank you so publicly this often. And you know, you've been there when we've had 6 weeks of money in the bank. I'm happy to say that's not the case right now. We have a runway to make sure the center can stay stable. We had that runway going into 2020, thank goodness, because not every organization has had that opportunity over the past 12 months, and we need to make sure that we support all of our organizations. So today you've supported us, but definitely make sure you're supporting the other community organizations right now, because they need your help too. But we really do appreciate you supporting us tonight, and thank you, Patrick, for everything you do every day.
Well, thank you. And I'm going to leave everybody on one last note. In Connecticut, we got a lot of things going on. There are so many bills at the Senate, so many bills at the state legislature being reviewed. If you have a moment to testify about something that you care about, now is your moment, because there are so many bills. There is everything from the Connecticut Parentage Act that is working to make more inclusive definitions of family. There is a bill being presented by my good friend Jeff Curry to make sure that gender neutral marker we have on our Ds is reflected on all of our state documents. There are bills out there to protect intersex individuals from unnecessary and unwanted surgeries. There are so many things going on in our state right now. And one final thing that I will say is, make sure you are telling your legislators. I'm gonna steal from a little bit from Raven now. Reach out to your legislators and tell them how important the LGBTQ organizations in our state are to you, because our organizations are hanging in the balance, just like so many other nonprofits. We are hanging in the balance because, unfortunately, we've been left out of many of the COVID relief structures. It's not on purpose. It's not because they're homophobic or transphobic or biphobic. It's just, when you write sweeping legislation, there are people that get left out. And unfortunately, our queer organizations are not making the cut for a lot of these funds. So keep reminding the people who vote that they need to vote to include queer people in all of their bills, and make sure that we are a priority, just like the arts, just like the restaurants, and just like every other industry that needs support right now. And that's what I'm going to leave you with.
That's right. Well, on behalf of the Pride Center, on behalf of Kiki, thank you so much for joining us tonight. One last thing, Kiki, hold up your hands. This is dedication. We're virtual, and those hands are even made up. Okay, this is what we do for you. You do. So thank you all for joining us tonight. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Still got plenty of time to enjoy some other great programming out there. If you're at the Shea, enjoy the show. Thank you for joining us. And for those who are at the Shea, a few minutes, you're going to have another show to enjoy. So thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.